Welcome to the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado's Engineering Excellence Awards presentation. I'm Carlene Thomas and an engineer with Pinion Environmental and current ACEC Colorado president. Today we celebrate Colorado's engineering community by recognizing 16 innovative projects. Although this is a new all-digital delivery of our awards, we are confident that you will still enjoy celebrating the creativity and amazing work alongside all of this year's winners and their clients. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors, especially our diamond sponsors, USI Colorado, Initial IT, and Ken's Reproductions. Also, special thanks to everyone who has made today's awards program possible. These include our award judges, our awards committee, the ACEC Colorado Board of Directors, and of course, our staff. Thank you, everyone. Now we will begin by presenting not a design award, but our annual Orley O. Phillips Honor Award. This is presented to an ACEC Colorado member who has made significant contributions to the profession, the council, and its programs. It was established in honor of one of our founding members. The board of directors supported the past President's Council's nomination of professional engineer Rob Carlson from Muller Engineering Company. To present the award to Rob, I now introduce you to Gray Clark, president of Muller. Gray.
Thank you, Carlene. My name is Gray Clark. I am the president of Muller Engineering Company. I am honored and proud to introduce this year's recipient of the Orley O. Phillips Award. I've had the great privilege to work with Rob Carlson for almost 30 years. Rob hired me as a young design engineer in 1991 when he was in the process of expanding our transportation practice, a process which he started in 1984 when he joined Muller Engineering Company. From those early days continuing through today, Rob has been an incredible mentor to me and to most of the leadership in our firm and to most of you in the industry. Rob possesses an incredible high level of integrity and has always fostered the development of new leaders within Muller Engineering Company. Rob stepped up and took over the reins as our president after the untimely death of Larry Muller in 1995, and for over 18 years led us forward to greater success through growth and expanded services. All this time while he was leading Muller, Rob was also advancing strong values for our industry through continual advocacy as a member and chairman of the ACEC Transportation Committee, through involvement and direct leadership continuing to this day at the QBS Colorado Coalition, through promotion of ACEC Engineering Excellence Award processes, as well as his support for math education through his involvement in the National Society of Professional Engineers. Rob's also been very active in the West Chamber of Commerce in Jefferson County and is active to this day as well in the Denver Chamber of Commerce. Well, Rob has been incredibly successful as an engineer, as a leader in our firm and our industry and the community. He also has many other amazing talents, having been an accomplished trumpeter since his marching band days at Purdue University here in the Denver metro area. Rob played in multiple Dixieland and blues community bands. Rob does a mean Jake Elwood impersonation on stage, which I have seen several times. Rob is also an accomplished athlete, was inducted into the Greater Denver Bowling Hall of Fame. And on top of all that, just last year, Rob cycled 500 miles in support of funding for awareness and research to find a cure for childhood cancer. It's my great honor and privilege to introduce this year's recipient of the Orley O. Phillips Award to my friend, to my mentor, to my business partner, and to a tireless advocate for our industry and our community, Rob Carlson.
Well, thank you so much, Gray. This is the Orley Phillips Award in my hand here, and I am so honored to receive this award today. Thank you to Gray, and I'd very much like to thank the past President's Council and Mark Hammis, who I understand is the person that suggested my nomination. I'd like to thank the ACEC Colorado Board of Directors, and along with Marilyn, Heidi, Ann, and Dana, and the rest of the ACEC staff who do such a great job and are just so much fun, and they're so enjoyable to work with. So thank you, ACEC Colorado. I'd also like to thank the ownership group at Muller Engineering Company, which I had been a part of up until about 5 years ago, and they provide me so much support, even in the work I do for the company today. And Gray Clark and Carl Buchholz, who I believe helped the committee provide some of the information about me for this award. I really appreciate that. And some others that I've known over the years from Muller, Mike Dungan, John Hamilton, who unfortunately isn't with us any longer, Dean Harris and Bruce Baer. Dean and Bruce, along with Gray, are still members of Muller's ownership group. And certainly I also want to thank my wife, Joy, for all the support she's given me over the 47 years of my civil engineering career. Joy was the person that kind of gave me the little push I needed. I was working early in my career in Chicago, and I had a very good job with a really good firm there, but always wanted to move out west. And I finally got a job offer in Green River, Wyoming, and probably wasn't the top of the list. I was thinking more like the Denver area. And Joy just kind of gave me the little nudge saying, well, you know, you've been talking about moving out west ever since I've known you. Now you have a job offer. If you don't take the offer, don't really want to hear about it anymore. So she gave me the final motivation to leave Chicago and move out to the Western United States. And then in 1984, I had the very good fortune of responding to an ad placed by Larry Muller, and came to work at Muller Engineering Company. And gosh, it's hard to believe just 2 years ago, I was playing Gray's role in presenting this award to Larry Muller posthumously. And even at that time, never dreamed that I'd be here getting the same award. So one thing I do a lot of is I'm driving around town, especially with my wife, Joy. It's interesting. We drive around and I keep pointing out different projects we've done around town. And, you know, she wonders, wow, the boring engineering work. But the thing that gets me is a lot of these projects that I worked on when I was younger, I see RFPs coming out for improvements on those projects that I designed and was involved with constructing. I go, well, why are we rebuilding those? And then I go, oh, well, I guess it's past its design life. My gosh, guess I'm getting old. But I really so much enjoy working with colleagues and professional friends that I've developed over the years. I've been able to do a lot of that through ACEC Colorado, as Gray mentioned, through the Transportation Committee for many, many years. QBS Colorado, I was with the board of directors for ACEC Colorado for a few years. And I've really made a lot of good friends through the organization, and I enjoy working with people, and also have many opportunities to team with a lot of the members of ACEC Colorado on projects. And the last few years, I've been helping Muller out, writing proposals, and just kind of furthering my career. Gray and the ownership group there, as I say, have supported me really well with that. And I do remember a transportation committee meeting a number of years ago when I was sitting next to a gentleman, Joe Maheen, which a lot of you might know. And he was mentioning that he was 80 years old at the time. And I was saying, well, Joe, what in the heck are you doing, you know, still working? And he says, well, I enjoy it so much. I said, well, you know, boy, I'm never going to do that. When I get retirement age, I'm just going to go ahead and retire. Well, I think I passed retirement age a number of years ago, and here I am still working. And I enjoy working with the people at Muller. I get to see them. It's a great part of my social life as well as a work life. And it really makes me happy. I'm so proud of the company and the accomplishments of the firm and the people there. So again, thank you so much for this wonderful honor. And I hope through the remainder of my career in life that I'll be able to live up to the honor that you have bestowed upon me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gray, and congratulations, Rob, on this well-deserved award. Please note that you can watch today's video of Rob receiving his award on the ACEC Colorado YouTube channel. So now let's start the Design Award presentations. The ACEC Colorado Engineering Excellence Awards annually recognizes consulting engineering firms for projects that demonstrate an exceptional degree of innovation, complexity, achievement, and value. For several decades, Colorado consulting engineering firms have entered their most innovative projects and studies into this competition. As you will see today, our engineering community continues to push outcomes to the next level with solutions that will advance society for generations. It is a privilege to be president of ACEC Colorado. This vital organization truly exemplifies stewardship at its best today and over the past 60 years. Please join me in welcoming today's MC, Steve Art. Steve is the Economic Development Manager and Urban Renewal Executive Director for the City of Wheat Ridge, where he promotes intelligent growth for the community while promoting the values of Wheat Ridge. Steve works regionally with economic development professionals and has been part of boards of directors for Economic Development Council of Colorado, Jefferson County Economic Development Corporation, and Jefferson County Business Resource Center. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thank you, Carlene. You know, it's great to be back with all of you today. In my 40 years of doing these emceeing, I think this is the first time I can actually attest that I'm doing it virtually via Zoom. But although we're not meeting in person, that doesn't take away from the excitement and importance of these EEA awards. I can truly attest to their value that successful collaboration brings to projects. Every day with the City of Wheat Ridge, I work with other professional organizations, agencies, community representatives, and municipalities on projects that involve my city, my county, and my state. It's where the ideas begin. It's propelling energy that brings everything together. And you know, that's really exciting. It is every single year that I do this. Today, as we celebrate the successful collaboration represented by our Engineering Excellence Award projects, it's obvious that Colorado's engineering community believes in results that are the outcome of ideas sharing and commitment to bringing those ideas to successful fruition. Typically at this time, we would stand together as we do every year and toast for the AEEC Colorado Signature Engineering Elixir Mocktail. Now, I know the recipe for the elixir was shared with you on your meeting reminder for today, as well as on social media, but if you didn't have time to make one, that's okay. We want you to raise up if you have a glass of water or soda, whatever you have with you, or just virtually with that. If you would just make a toast for me from your home or your office, it's okay. We can all stand to celebrate the accomplishments, and I won't stand because y'all go off the video, but I would like you all stand today and celebrate the accomplishments of our member engineers, the owners of the projects they work on, the contractors and architects on the teams they work with, and the passion for truly what they do. We also give a special salute to our clients and firms that we're honoring today for their outstanding projects that are the pride and the showpiece of their firms. We share their pride and congratulate them on tremendous accomplishments that have been made with the completion of these projects. Would everyone please take their glass? I salute you all. Feel free to drink the rest of your elixir as we go on through the program. Sit back because we're getting ready to give out the awards. Our first award today will present the Outstanding Project Board. This award recognizes the great deal of talent and creativity that goes into preparing the project board of the award entry and is based on the judges and award committee's recommendations. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Outstanding Project Award Board goes to EST for the Mineral Belt Trail Bridges, and here is the project board. Congratulations to you. Now, we begin the presentation of the Merit, Honor, Excellent, and finally, the Grand Conceptor Awards. The entries are judged for the overall engineering excellence based on the work performed by only the entering engineering firm and according to the rating guidelines, which are available on the ACEC Colorado website. Each project is judged and rated on its own merit, regardless of its category classification. Now, the Grand Conceptor and Excellence recipients will also be eligible to advance to the ACEC National Awards Competition in Washington, D.C. coming this spring. Now, on to our awards. As each project's name is read, a short video will play about the project. Please remember that each video will be available on the ACEC Colorado YouTube channel. Also, each of today's award-winning firms will receive their statue via UPS sometime in November. Now, let's begin with the 2021 Merit winners. The Merit Award recognizes projects for their extraordinary engineering solutions based upon the award criteria. The Merit Award for Arapahoe Community College collaboration goes to Kimley Horn.
You had a couple different design teams working together, and it did come together pretty flawlessly. Like, I think between JHL and the master developers contractor, everything laid out real well. It was pretty successful with how it came together. The end product turned out fantastic. Either end of the building, they have these community bookends, but they're indoor-outdoor spaces. They really were planning for the future and future-proofing, like how people would want to use the space. I think little did they know that COVID was going to happen, and some of these indoor-outdoor classrooms were really going to play a benefit today in that having the outdoor classroom space has allowed ACC to have classes outside. I think as an engineer, being able to be part of a program that is really to help develop engineers, like that was something that I'm pretty passionate about. And being part of this project was really, for me, very important to help advance the engineering industry through this project.
The Merit Award for the Iron Horse Park goes to Hewlett Zollers.
The channel itself was basically a large ditch in the ground, if you will, and it collected water. It was overgrown with weed. So improving it meant regrading the sides of the channel, formalizing it, formalizing the bottom so that when it carried water, there wasn't erosion cutting down through the bottom, that it was actually draining the water. They wanted to look at the 500-year storm. They wanted to make sure that the channel was not going to flood during major storms, but to put a culvert to be able to take that 500-year storm was much, much larger than in reality they were going to need on a regular day-by-day basis. So we had to find a balance between what was a good-sized culvert that would work for them and hit a storm that they were comfortable with. Not the 100-year, but not the 500-year either. So it was fun, but different. And I think in the end it was successful.
For the Denver Premium Outlets, the Merit Award goes to Kimley Horn.
I think anytime you get a chance to be part of a project that is this large and has this many layers, it's always a lot of fun because it's never the same day twice as you're working through it. And for the length of the project, it was just fun from when it was an infancy in someone's head all the way through to the ribbon cutting. If you look at an aerial of the Denver Premium Outlet site, it's shaped in a V where everything is really aimed towards the mountains in Longs Peak. And so that was really a key component for how the site was laid out. was to really take that Colorado feel with the mountains and make sure that everybody had ways to see that. You could go there and not spend a dime and really spend a full day just walking around, enjoying the area. So the playground at Denver Premium Outlets is really a key feature to the whole site. So the playground is over 2.5 acres. It really attracts a lot of people there. And it's more than just an asset for the Premium Outlet Center, it's an asset for the community.
Congratulations to our 2021 Merit Award winners. Now I'm extremely pleased to present the 2021 Honor Award winners. The honor recognizes projects with outstanding engineering solutions based upon award criteria. The Honor Award for the Mineral Belt Trail Bridges goes to EST.
So it's a really unique site in that these bridges are not over a roadway or over a waterway or trail. They're actually over these underground subsistence problems that you can't see. And so the final project was developed to blend into the historic mining area. Right from the first site visit, we recognized that this was a really unique project and that you have these really steep one-to-one slopes on both sides of the trail. And so you weren't going to be able to set outriggers for a crane, and the types of materials and size of materials that you were going to be able to use in the structure were limited right from the start. So it was a good candidate for design build because it required innovation both from the designer and the contractor. Our project went so smoothly. The teaming between the designer and owner and contractor went really, really smoothly on this design build, and I appreciate everyone's collaboration.
The Honor Award for the West Colorado Avenue goes to Felsberg, Holt, and Ulevig.
It's a beautiful area, but it had been neglected because there are 4 agencies that actually owned that 1.5 mile stretch. It was difficult to enforce law. It was difficult to enforce code, and all of the agencies really were having a difficult time addressing the need within that corridor, and blight was starting to occur within the area. We were not just telling the public what needs to be done, but we were truly listening to them, and they felt listened to, they felt involved, because they were. And that's kind of what made this project special is the collaboration between everybody to solve the problem. There was no surprises, and that everybody was working together towards that solution. And in that sense, yes, everybody was, I think, very pleased with it. We were very honest with them. Yeah, it's going to be, this is a very up close and personal project. It's going to affect the businesses that are in the corridor, but they knew it going in. And they also knew that what they were receiving on the other side was going to change the community altogether, and it truly did.
The Honor Award for the I25 Planning and Environmental Linkages Study goes to Jacobs.
Almost immediately, it was recognized that there are immediate safety concerns that needed to be addressed in this portion of the corridor, as well as just addressing the overarching congestion needs. Yes, the population is coming. It's going to be there. It's going to start infilling even greater. So by our Pell study looking at these broad issues and developing a concise blueprint for the I-25 main line, it really enables the locals to better plan for the growth that's going to be coming. I would consider it one of the most successful Pells, honestly. And part of that, the Pell is not just a document. I mean, certainly the study captures and memorializes what we considered, what we deliberated on, and what we concluded. But ultimately, the benefit of this Pell is the relationships that were born from it. and the ownership and the discussions and decisions that were made both by CDOT as well as the many partners along that corridor.
Honor Award for the Engineering, Education, and Research Building at the University of Wyoming goes to ME Engineering.
Anytime you build a research laboratory, it's a challenging project. But when you do that at 7,200 feet, there's some pretty unique challenges. In the wintertime, it could be -20. So we had to design the building to prevent freeze ups and to prevent cold. And in the summertime, it's hot and dry, and we were able to leverage that to use evaporative cooling to really reduce the energy demand on the building. The whole building is really built around flexibility and collaboration. And that's really exciting to see that in use. It's one of the most exciting projects I worked on personally. I'm a graduate of the University of Wyoming's College of Engineering in '92. So, it holds a special place that I could work on the project that's going to help the future engineering minds of our country.
The Honor Award for the US 36 Bridge over Left Hand Creek goes to Muller Engineering Company.
One of the main problems is that the channel was considered a high-risk channel for debris. So it was right next to the mountains, and when a major rain event would happen, the debris would come down the mountain, build up against this box culvert, and cause tons of damage to the surrounding community. The normal process following a flood event is that you go out and you replace what was there before without many improvements at all. But on this project, Governor Hickenlooper came out after the floods and said that Colorado would build it back better than before. So we were able to put in a much, much larger bridge, 155 foot long. I think the project turned out great. We were able to meet the goals of CDOT and all the local groups, community groups. Usually, there's always someone that's mad that like, hey, we didn't get this or we didn't get that, but the end product made everyone very happy.
The Honor Award for the 33rd Street outfall goes to Wilson and Company.
One of the challenges that we had with the project was just the dynamics of the corridor changing. We had an alternative alignment that we had selected through the concept process. And so as we moved through into design, some of the options for that alignment went away, frankly. We had construction that was going vertical through the whole corridor, and real estate prices were skyrocketing, and there was just a lot of demand through this corridor. It was a great opportunity for our team to grow along with the city and focusing on this type of a challenge, and also just tackling that challenge and being able to carry a design forward that could be beneficial. With any major storm sewer project, we bury some of our best work, and so the public really never knows what's underneath them and what's providing them protection, but it's a great opportunity to look at the scale of that project, connect into these existing systems, and really provide a huge benefit for that neighborhood.
Congratulations to all of our 2021 Honor Award winners. Now, it's my privilege to present the 2021 Excellence Awards. The Excellence Award recognizes projects for innovative engineering solutions based upon award criteria, and recipients, again, are eligible to advance to the ACEC 2021 EEA competition. So here we begin. The Excellence Award for the Chatfield Reservoir goes to HDR.
project that we performed was to make the reservoir ready to be able to take an additional 12 feet of water stored in it more on a permanent basis. The approach that we had to take in order to preserve the flood volumes and still raise the park facilities is that if we put a cubic yard at one location to raise a recreation area, we had to find another location around the park that was at the same elevation and remove a cubic yard there. And we had to do that 1.4 million times. It was a challenging project to get that much work done in that amount of time, and to get all of the various agencies cooperating closely together and communicating between themselves and the public. The outcome was very, very successful.
The Excellence Award for the Globeville Landing Outfall goes to Merrick and Company.
Normally a design like this is pretty straightforward, but honestly, this was without a doubt the most complex storm drainage project I've done in my career. What complicated were several things, and it was the obstacles along the route. The route we were taking along Brighton Boulevard through this industrial area pretty much had, factories and some commercial businesses along there. And yes, we had to keep them in operation. It was a collaborative effort with so many more agencies and groups involved from state, federal, local, and city departments, and this great team of people that made this project a success.
The Excellence Award for the Pine Creek Channel Improvements goes to HDR.
This was kind of its first of its kind for a public infrastructure project. The city has done very traditional grouted boulder drop structures, concrete drop structures, but this natural channel element was one of the first the city has designed as a public project. We came in well below the funds that the city had from the grant. And so this could be a real saver of public funds as the project proves that it's resilient. The industry is really changing and trying to make these systems more resilient. While we designed Pine Creek to have, with the natural elements, they do have the ability to move. Natural channels like to move and migrate. And so the system we designed allows migration kind of within limits that will protect the adjacent property. The project went really well. So both us and the city have been really pleased with how this channel has maintained itself through this first season of the rainy season this year.
The Excellence Award for the Wonderland Creek goes to Muller Engineering Company.
There are all sorts of challenges to the project. The hydraulics were obviously clearly a major challenge. There's just very little room in the flood corridor. And in response to that, a significant amount of walled systems had to be put in place to adequately control the floodplain. And it goes beyond simply just moving water through a corridor. And that's really why the name of the project is the floodplain and greenway improvements. The trail improvements are equally important, the ecological improvements, the environmental aspects, the ability for people to use the trail to get to work for passive and active recreation. All those things are equally important to the stormwater aspects. So everybody's really pleased with the project. There's a lot of use out there. it's a very active portion of the city at this point.
The Excellence Award for the Eastern Regional Pipeline Project goes to Providence Infrastructure Consultants.
The project lies within the boundaries of the town of Castle Rock, the town of Sedalia, unincorporated Douglas County. I'm going to say probably close to 25 different property owners that needed to be coordinated with. And overall, it went extremely smooth, much smoother than I anticipated. Within the design build framework, the owner would be there at the table. The contractor that was going to be doing the construction was there at the table. The engineer was at the table. So there was a bit of transparency that was brought to the project when we would deal with either the county or private property owners. And I think that helped a lot. We were able to, I think, build quite a bit of trust with the different people that we interacted with on the project, just with all the different team members coming to the project at the same time. It was unique from the standpoint that we were able to bring a design build delivery method to a water project, and it just helped in so many ways.
And finally, our last Excellence Award for the Garden of the Gods Detention Pond goes to Wilson and Company.
Downstream of this project is a residential neighborhood that had a number of properties in the FEMA floodplain. The fact that in 2012 we had the Waldo Canyon fire here that burned about 90% of the 10 square mile watershed really started the city to focus on this particular area as far as needing to give it some extra attention. It's a big deal. There's a lot of eyes focused on Garden of Gods Park. A lot of people hold it in kind of a sacred position, and they should. It's a wonderful place. I was just excited to be a part of a project that we had so much emphasis on designing a project that would be both safe and functional, as well as a lot of emphasis on aesthetics. I've seen things come a long ways through my career from projects that were really monuments and didn't care much about aesthetics, and to projects now that really emphasize working with the natural function of our waterways and how to build projects that really blend in. The best projects are projects that you won't be able to find in a few years.
Congratulations to this year's Excellence Award winners. Now finally, it is my honor to present the prestigious Grand Conceptor Award. This award is presented annually to projects that receive the highest point percentages by our judges for outstanding project excellence. This year, we're honored to present the award to IMEG for the Denver Water Operations Complex Redevelopment Project.
That was kind of the catalyst, was a need to revamp their historical infrastructure, which was starting to be beyond its useful life. Denver Water, early on in the project, decided to come to the table with a lot of really aggressive sustainability goals for the project. Water in particular is really critical to Denver Water. It's a precious resource here in the Mountain West, and so that was one of our biggest challenges that was put to the design team and the construction team, was to see how we could optimize and maximize the use of water. It was probably best described as almost a once-in-a-lifetime project for an engineer, for an MEP engineer. We really pushed the envelope. I mean, this is a client who was willing to step up and be good stewards in the market, to lead by example with water efficiency, with energy efficiency. To have a client who's really invested in that is, I think, was really a great opportunity, and I was really happy to be a part of the project.
Congratulations to IMEG, the winner of our Grand Conceptor Award, and in fact, all the winners in all of our categories. Again, you can download a program with all today's winners information at, get this written down, get a pencil and paper, at bit.ly/EEA 2021. Again, that's bit.ly, bit.ly/EEA 2021. This link will also direct you to the full-length video of this year's award-winning projects that are on the ACEC Colorado YouTube channel, along with the video of our Orley O. Phillips recipient, Rob Carlson. Well, it's been an interesting afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed your lunch, your mocktail, the awards presentations. Again, congratulations to our winners and to all of you out there for doing great engineering work all throughout our state and across the country. I thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you in person next year. Goodbye.